It's time for us to take our first foray into the wild world of the internet. Yes, both of my shows have the capacity to take on webtoons as well as the ones that air on mainstream television. And this opens up a world of possibilities on both ends. We're gonna start with the bad end of the bad end. You might think that I'm making fun of some low-budget animated show that came out of the backwaters of the internet. You know, kinda like what I did with Dusk's Dawn. I am not. Ctrl-Alt-Delete is one of the most popular webcomics to this day. The creators of that comic not only wanted this webtoon to go on television, but they actually charged money for people to see it. And would you believe that not even fans of the comic like the show? I haven't seen the comics. In fact, before this review, I haven't even heard of the comics. But with a good webtoon like Eddsworld, you shouldn't have to read the comics to get the cartoon. Now, why am I doing this particular episode, Trilogy? Because a Ctrl-Alt-Delete episode barely cracks 5 minutes. In fact, part 2 of this trilogy is 4.5 minutes long. I originally thought that it was a butchered edit. In fact, it still might be, but I don't really know. All 3 of these together don't even hit 22 minutes. It takes an intro sequence and all 3 of them to hit 15. It starts with 2 guys driving a car. They toss a CD case out of it, and you've already realized the series' biggest problem. Its animation is horrible. In fact, that's pretty much going to sum up all the problems with the show. Most of their humor relies on timing, but because their animation is so stilted and bad, they get the timing wrong. Every single time. The CD case lands on a doorstop, and the car runs out of gas. Out of a limo steps Jack Thompson. For those who don't know, Jack Thompson was a lawyer who had an obsession against video games. Yeah, he was one of those guys claiming that Grand Theft Auto was a murder simulator. This obsession actually got him disbarred a while back, and no one has heard anything from the guy since he sued Facebook back in 2009. What I'm saying is that this is horribly, horribly dated.
Where are the plans you stole from my office?
Biggest problem number 2. The voice acting is horrible.
We just came out for some munchies.
I don't think it's a stretch to say that I'd prefer Dusk's Dawn over this.
So cool! Cold even. I hope nobody will notice I left that hill snowy during last year wrap up.
If this is a food trip, then where are your groceries?
Perhaps they haven't bought them yet.
Yeah. Oh, but sorry. Phlegm.
Oh yeah, this is a Star Wars parody because why the hell not? Jack tells whoever that is to tear the car apart and look for the plans. And then we get our intro sequence that tells us absolutely nothing about anything. This guy is Ethan. I know his name is Ethan because I had to look it up. I don't know why he went outside in a towel, and I don't know why he was fully clothed when he went back inside. He picked up the CD and identified it as a video game.
Okay, let's check out the instruction manual. Help me, Benjamin Katarski. You're our only hope. That's gotta be the flimsiest instruction manual I've ever seen.
Someone hasn't played Home Improvement for the SNES. Anyway, Benjamin Katarski turns out to be Ethan's neighbor.
I fought in the console wars of the 80s.
It's funny because it's a gaming reference, except it's wrong. The first real console war started in the 90s.
I was a member of the Nintendo Knights, and a master of the ownage.
And that's stupid. Yeah, it's pretty much the Force from Star Wars, except stupid. They put in the game and learn that it contains Jack Thompson's plan to destroy video games forever. Right. Then they randomly go back to Ethan's house because he wants to pack up or something along those lines. And he asks his housemate Lucas to borrow his car. And then they come across the robot Zeke. His origins and the rules regarding him are never explained in the animated series. Although I'm fairly certain that they go in depth with it in the comics. But it should be explained in the animated series so newcomers are not confused. So we're just gonna have to go along with the robot. And here's Jack Thompson's plan to destroy video games forever. You know, sometimes being stupid is pretty funny. Other times being stupid is just, well, stupid. You know, like the fact that it starts working. If it didn't work, and he was wondering why it didn't work, well, that might have been funny. Especially because you're trying to make fun of this guy. Lucas, Ben, and Ethan are driving to stop Jack's plan. Ethan says they should pick up his girlfriend because I really don't care.
Let the ownage flow through you.
But this makes no sense! Now I can't see the screen!
And pointing that out fixes your joke because... Oh, that's right, it doesn't! They get to Lila's place of work, and Ben sees Jack.
Games! Jack Thompson! Destruction! Ownage! No time to explain!
You see what I mean when I said that the animation is the biggest problem? If it was fluid and fast-paced, you know, if like the animators actually knew what the hell they were doing, then that could have been funny. Instead it comes off as really awkward. Also, we're only 4 minutes into the first episode, and the voices are starting to grate. Our 4 heroes, I guess, come outside to see Ben and Jack arguing. Jack says some words and Ben just drops. Or rather, he appears on the floor.
I'm sorry about Ben, hon.
Who?
Or he's dead. Whatever. It happened in Star Wars, so it's gotta happen here, no matter how forced you gotta make it. Zeke tells them to destroy the billboard. Apparently attacking its legs could cause a chain reaction. I'm not joking. That's how they put it. And this is how they do it.
Yes! I'm bored.
Me too. It's a shame that we still have 2 more parts. That's right, you just saw what was the first of 3 parts. Let's see if the other 2 parts are any better. Don't hold your breath on that one because they're not. Part 2 starts with Ethan playing in an arcade when he runs outside after an ice cream truck. Unfortunately, it's winter.
So cold. Can I cut you open and crawl inside?
Yeah, I don't think anyone could have made that funny. The ghost of Ben appears in front of Ethan and tells him to go train with someone called Bobo, because parody. Then Jack Thompson drives up to them in his limo. So everyone makes their escape with some horrible jokes and some wretched animation. Ethan finds Bobo in some sort of computer lab. They tried to make him a parody of Yoda, but completely missed the point. Meanwhile, Jack Thompson is chasing down Lila and Lucas because why the hell not?
I'll try.
No, try. Do or do not. Preferably do, because feel like doing it for you, I do not.
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen anyone stretch that far for a joke before. You guys are reaching new heights in animation. It seems that the training must be cut early because Jack Thompson captured Ethan's friends. Ethan passes by a box, which the guy with the helmet on his head claims is containing not Lucas. And then Ethan runs into Jack Thompson. They have a poorly animated fight. They throw in some poorly written humor, and then Ethan shouts no at such a grating volume that it legit gave me a headache on the spot. Then Ethan escapes. On to the grand finale! I am so excited! Well, excited that we're almost done here, at least. It starts with Jack Thompson checking up on rebuilding the billboard. Meanwhile, our heroes find Lucas in a court.
Judge.
Lucas!
You're going to get that with us. Don't ever on that now.
I've got absolutely nothing. It's been a while, but this has rendered me absolutely speechless. And as a tidbit, I had to write this review in 3 different sittings. That's how bad all of this is. Ethan comes in, asks the judge to let Lucas go, but that obviously doesn't work. Then he says he's a Nintendo knight, pulls out a Wiimote, and beats the judge up. I have no idea where he got that, how he learned to do that, or what region of their ass the writers pulled this out of. Oh look, Hillary Clinton! I still have no clue. Apparently she's Jack Thompson's boss. Ethan goes back to Bobo, and they have more half-assed attempts at comedy. It manages to freak Ethan out enough to get him to go home. I have no idea who that is. He's making a plan to destroy the billboard again, this time using a telephone pole. So they go out on their final mission. Ethan goes to Jack Thompson, and the other 3 try to take down the telephone pole. They do this by using the robot. It's just trying way too hard to be funny. You know, like putting Hillary Clinton on the toilet. You guys are lazy as hell. Hillary tells Ethan to take down Thompson because I don't know, and Ethan obliges. Then Jack takes down Clinton and falls down.
Tell them I was killed by video games.
And then the telephone pole kills him. Then the others watch the billboard burn. You know what? This doesn't even deserve an outro. I'll see you guys next time.